Oh, take the logo away.
Ah,
Ah!
there's our faces. Oh my God.
Show me your
Yeah.
face. Hello, everyone, and welcome to issue 681 of Geek in the City Radio. I'm one of your hosts, Aaron Duran.
I'm one of your other hosts with a non-functional camera, Marina.
Tilt it down.
It's the wrong camera.
Oh,
Is that what? Okay. And I'm your other host, Cable Hashitani.
howdy, Cable.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Hello,
No, I said that in his voice. That was supposed to be the other way around.
children. Yeah, it's all good.
Anyway, here we are.
What did? Oh. Hey, we're trying to get.
And where's here?
We are live in the Guardian Games studio.
That's
Yeah, there we
right. And if you want to chat with us, we actually, well, never mind. The restream's only for us. So for the three of us, the restream chat is down. So if you're able to watch the show via Twitch, that's where you can respond.
Oh, weird. Okay.
We were having technical difficulties.
Things are weird today.
Yes, they are.
For example,
Lemon.
I know for a fact that I
Fact.
set the right camera when I logged in, and now this is not the right camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll live.
I'm just.
because if I did it wrong, I did it wrong. That's on me. But if I did it right and it's still not right, then
That's on it.
shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
Me?
Not
The
you.
computer.
No.
Yeah.
I was just doing a I don't know George Bush.
The
Fool me once, can't fool me again.
Is that what it was? I never
Yeah, because remember he's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Can't fool him, can't be fooled again. Yeah, that was his speech.
And the sad part is that I miss those days.
I was just saying, like, the halcyon days of the end of the 20th century. No, start of the 21st.
Start of the
Yes.
21st century.
I also learned that when George W. This came up recently, that when he took office was the last time that we did not have a deficit.
That is correct, because a Republican president has never operated without a deficit.
Mm-hmm.
And almost every recession or depression is under a Republican president. I do believe Clinton and Obama both had a balanced budget.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was the thing. Is Clinton had a balanced budget. There might have even been a surplus. And when Obama came in after Bush,
he had to pay for the war.
Yeah, there were too many bills, so he never got out of that deficit, and so that's why there has not been. That's why there has been a continuous deficit since.
No, I think Trump inherited a balanced budget. It doesn't matter.
This is not that show. This is not the kind of show that we are.
No.
I'm not gonna pursue this any further.
It is occasionally the show that we are.
Yeah.
I don't have those numbers prepared. I was listening
And that's
to a
fine.
podcast,
I was unprepared.
a news podcast about the deficit, and that's what I heard. So.
Yeah. Sorry, if you guys see me twitching a lot on the stream, it's because I'm very sore. So as of Monday, I basically just restarted how I used to exercise before the pandemic.
Okay.
Forgetting that it takes your body like a month or so to get used to it again.
Mm-hmm.
So I do real intense weights Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I do a fast walk with some jogging intervals on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And my body's like, we hate you. How dare you? We haven't recovered from Monday, and now you son of a bitch, you're gonna jog?
Yep, I did a weight lift yesterday with my special new shoes. And
Ooh.
it was. I feel bruised here.
Yeah.
Yeah, here. It was hard. It was. I feel like I didn't do much, but I definitely feel like I did a lot in my body.
Mm-hmm.
In my brain, I didn't do much. In my body, that was a hard workout.
Well, I mean, that's how it's going to go for all of us if we get order. The brain's going to be fine. The body's going to be like, nah, son.
My brain is
That's
also
not necessarily
fine,
true.
So I'm just like fucked inside and out.
Yeah, like sometimes the brain goes too.
I guess that's true. My brain and I are doing okay, considering the shit it put me through a few months ago.
That's fair.
Although that's actually technically the body firing a salvo at the brain. So again, piece of shit body. How dare you?
Number one cause of death.
bodies.
having a body.
This is very true.
But
All true.
since I've already tortured both of you, I do have that new playlist mix now. That is my workout mix. Yeah, I have already done 2 foolish things, both of which I can blame on Rocky. So it has a lot of snippets from Rocky 4 because Rocky 4 has the most number of montages than any major motion picture. It's like a 98-minute movie, and I think someone clocked it out that it has 33 minutes of montage.
So there's really only like 50-ish minutes of actual storytelling.
The rest is like their different training or Rocky suffering montages.
That's a lot of montage.
That's right.
I actually do want to rephrase that. The way I said that implies that a montage cannot be narrative, and that's not true.
It's kind of their whole point.
Yeah.
To show you the passage of time.
It's gonna be a montage.
So
I guess I don't know what the right words are that I want for saying that a montage is not when it's a montage, it's not this other type of storytelling.
It comes in, like the song says, it comes in handy if we show the progression and passage of time, but it doesn't really like forward the story other than I need to get character from point A to point B. Normally this takes years, but we're gonna shoot a montage.
But need a Montague?
But there's a that's right. But there's a part in Rocky 4, this one montage where like it always shows like Drago like in the evil Soviet gym, like pumping iron and getting injected with drugs, while Rocky's just jogging in the Siberian wilderness and using nature as his gym. But there's a part where he's like climbing the mountain as the music reaches crescendo, and the movie he yells, "Drago!" I might have accidentally done that as I was jogging up a moderate, like 1 block, 10-degree grade hill. Kind of getting in the moment. I got
to the going up or down?
I was going up. Okay. And when I got to the top, right when the music hit, I just yelled, "Drago!" Because I'm a dork.
I really hope that like there's at least one person in your neighborhood who just like lives to watch you do this ridiculous ass shit on your morning.
I don't know. I think I just like mildly amuse, but probably annoy those neighbors when I do that. Like years ago, when I picked up the Zombies Run app, which I loved, like I was jogging around Tabor, and Iron Maiden's "The Trooper" came on, and I had inadvertently found myself jogging, just getting into it, and the line, "You'll take your," what is it? "You'll take my life, but you'll take his too." That one. Caught myself singing it as I literally like jogged right through like a morning sunrise yoga session of a bunch of like soccer moms. Me screaming about running your musket through you.
That I for sure.
Also, I've been caught singing Storm Large's 8 Miles Wide at the top of my lungs while jogging around Table. And you get funny looks when you're rounding the reservoir and you're just going, "Vagina, vagina, vagina." Hey, it's a good song to go to. Oh, poor Norm. I always have to like allow Norm's comments because the bot's always like, he said something mean, like he wrote douche nozzle. So yeah, that was a long way to say that I'm hurting myself, but it's for the greater good.
The good kind of
the greater good.
Yeah, it is. But the other injury also came from Rocky because I was just doing a fast walk. But then the actual like Rocky theme came on, and I'm like, I can't help it. Like, it just makes me want to start jogging and like shadow boxing as I run, which is just what happened.
Now I have Fiona Apple's shadow boxing going through my head.
Nice. Not at all like even close to each other. They're very different tunes.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
Although I would argue that it's never a bad time for Fiona Apple.
That's true.
I have a photo that I will share with you both later. Where I got called out by my Spotify algorithm, and I'm like, rude. True.
About like
but
your
rude.
constant Fiona Appling.
The fact that my musical taste is that of a lesbian going to college in the 90s.
I listen to Fiona Apple all the time.
I'll show you the photo.
Let's say it's
it's the Liz Fair, it's the Anita Franco,
Okay, nope, yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, my Spotify or title also tells me like, "Are you sure you're not an angsty, sexually unsure 16-year-old girl in high school?" I'm like, "Shut up!
Yep.
Shut your whore mouth!"
Yep.
Some of those songs slap, proving that he is not an angsty 16-year-old girl. What he says, some of those songs slap.
Yeah, you
Oh.
really shook Spotify.
That's right. Oh god, now my brain's jumping around. That's right. There's this dude on TikTok that does these really great impersonations, and he deep fakes the actors on his face to do it. So like Gandalf watching Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, I've seen that guy.
The one I just saw though is Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson watching the season 3 Mandalorian.
Yep.
And they're
In the trailer.
Lost and foundling. Master Qui-Gon, they're stealing your welding door opening technique. Stealing, thieving bastards. But the best is at the very end when the music plays and they both start dun, 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 and they're like,
yes.
and he's like, now this is a tune to be found. I love that one. I love either ones we've got Baby Elrond and Gandalf's always having to, like when they're watching Rings of Power, like, all right. It's what's the actor's name?
Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving. So it's Hugo Weaving's face put over a baby like in a bouncy swing, complaining about Rings of Power as he's watching it, and Gandalf's like, "Come on now, Elrond, don't make me put you in the corner."
Elrond.
Yeah.
I think you're a little big for a timeout.
Yes. They're pretty great. I love them. What are we talking about today?
Yes.
We are returning to the viewing of Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Fanfaring.
Pew, 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 pew.
This is fanfare?
Well, I didn't want to like make a bunch of noise over you talking.
Okay.
So I panicked and thus the arm flailing.
Also, I have a book out tomorrow, this week.
Yes. People in the chat were asking if you were going to pump your book. And
Yeah.
You mean the armchair show producers? Yes.
What?
Please check into last week's. We did a whole thing.
Oh. But yes, also still. Season of Bruja
tomorrow.
It's actually out in some places.
Well, I saw a release date today. Plus, it's Tuesday and it's a comic.
You know what? The release dates have gotten weird with comics now. They get delivered on Tuesdays, and I guess now some places it's all weird now.
I mean,
whatever.
Apparently, if you are Portland's biggest bookstore, you can just
throw shit out willy-nilly
whenever you want.
Yeah, it landed on Sunday.
Yeah. I'm not going to name any names.
No, but it is the world's biggest used bookstore.
It is.
I mean, if you can union bust and still have like top popularity in this town,
there you go.
Clearly, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. Or you're either them or you're Voodoo Donuts, or Burgerville.
I'll go back to that bookstore before I go to Voodoo Donuts.
Oh yeah, they were never good to begin with. I say as my constitutionally protected opinion. Because I think they only deal in cash. They'll totally whack you. There's no paper trail with those sons of bitches. At least that's what I was told by employees. Like literally, there's like garbage bags of cash that the owners come by and pick up.
Yeah, that's not shady at all.
No, not at all.
I met one of those guys. He is weird. It's the nicest thing I can say about him.
Oh, you're talking about Trey.
Yes.
Cable don't give a fuck.
Okay, yeah, he's weird and sleazy.
If anyone who's lived in Portland for any amount of time knows this, like there are 5-year residents, people who have their 5-year residency in Portland. That's one of the first things they know. That's one of the first bullet points.
I just got an idea that maybe someone's already thought of this before, but I'm really tickled by it. People should get coins.
Portland challenge coins.
Here's your 1-year coin. No, I guess that's more like a.
That's like AA thing.
NA kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, but yeah, your 1-year coin,
challenge
your
coins.
5-year coin.
You get challenge coins. Like one is for like I survived North Portland gentrification.
Yep.
I was not priced out of my house.
Made of wood. Your year 1 coin is actually just made of wood.
Yeah.
I'm coming up on 9 years, so that means like I'm a year and some change away from a 10-year. What's that one going to be? A 10-year coin.
What's a good Portland 10-year challenge coin? Let's see. I mean,
I'm waiting to see if anyone in the chat throws anything out there.
It could be.
It's a resin.
You think it's resin? For some reason I was going aluminum.
It's a resin. Dante's toaster. Oh, gross!
Yeah.
Fire cow! How dare dried kombucha skin?
Absolutely not.
I don't even like, even though I know it tastes good, I don't even like ordering something when it calls it tofu skin. I'm like, can you not do that? I'd rather you.
That's not what it's called. It has a name.
What, tofu skin?
Yes.
What is it really
What's it really called then?
Fuck. Yeah, nasty.
I figured it's just. I assume it's just basically like a rind of tofu that's let to dry a certain way or something. I don't know.
Like if
You're talking about
if you like pan sear some tuna, it does, like it gets a different texture on the outside, and you could probably slough that off.
You're talking.
That's a good one, Norm. It's catalytic converter with token for 2 space rooms punch tickets.
Oh, ow!
Yeah,
Yuba.
That's a little.
Is it Yuba?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just sheets.
Yep.
Instead of blocks.
Yep.
Okay, so it's sheets of tofu.
Yeah, it's.
Well,
not...
why do they call it tofu skins? I've heard of soy curls. I'm guessing that's the same thing.
Do you want the real answer?
No, I know it.
Soy curls, I think they're slightly different, but yeah, they come out in little like globs.
Yep.
Yeah, soy curls make more sense to me. I get it. If you were to slice it thin and then fry it, it's gonna.
I don't know. Maybe tofu skin.
Fire cow, I'm gonna have to ban you for a little while. You're getting gross. And then there's Norm with the fucking headshot. Tofu Taint is the name of my all accordion John Mayer cover band.
No thanks.
That's what's on your 10-year challenge coin for Portland.
No thanks.
I don't know what goes on it.
5 years is a quarter world quarter.
Okay, yeah, 5 years, quarter world quarter. I don't know.
I like aluminum because recycling.
Yeah.
So it's an aluminum coaster from Dante's or Space Room.
Something like that. Yeah. Oh, that's true. One of the ones that still stick around.
I don't need a coin from the Space Room. I have Space Room.
That's true. You roll pretty. You have 2.
No, one of them.
Did one die?
Well, I do still have both tops, but one of them got somewhat. So they used to be on my back patio,
yeah, I remember.
And we put tarps over them when the weather was wet, and that was ineffectual. So there's a little mycelial network in there.
Oh man!
Between the
there's no plexiglass and there's no Pedro Pascal to save you either.
There's not.
Nope, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. That's the creature from Poltergeist 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I thought you were doing a Last of Us thing.
No, I haven't started watching it. I know I will watch it.
Either.
I'll watch it when they all drop. I'll do it in one like emotionally gutting sitting.
I'm excited because I've never played the video game, so this will be a fun thing to watch.
So good.
What's a 25-year coin? No, that's an acrylic coin that has a rose garden rose in it.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's your 25.
Oh, you know what 20-year one is? No, not 20. 21-year one is?
What's that?
It's gonna be more like a donut than a coin because it is a 1/4 inch or however thick a challenge coin, 1/6 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. They're never 1/4 inch. That's big.
It depends.
We're making it up. It's fine. Whatever.
Okay, that is a 1/4 inch slice of a stripper pole.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's what you were gonna do, where you were going with the acrylic thing, something like from a stripper shoe.
From a pleaser?
There definitely does need to be something stripping related.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a tenet of the Portland culture.
That's true.
I think that's pretty good. We've got a pretty good baseline. Somebody write that down and we'll get started.
50 years, something with ourselves.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Did we pick a 10-year one?
Yeah, 10-year was the aluminum coaster.
You know what like your 2 or 3-year one is? Because I think when you first lube here, you really get it out of your system. You get all excited for being in like the beer capital of like the country.
Oh yeah.
So it's like a compressed and like resined just hops.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
But then like your like 4-year is a replica of the Pabst Blue Ribbon because you then stop having fancy beers and you go back to the PBR.
Oh, at some point, you should get one that has the Old Town logo on it. The
Oh
Old
yeah.
Town Portland.
Yep, I get that.
Yeah.
Look, all kinds of options.
Just
Year
right
7.
with ideas.
God, man, Harmer's on a cart. He woke up on the dirtiest side of the bed today. Flattened panties.
I don't know what's going on with him, but
Yeah. Oh, God damn it. I got to close this page. I hate AI art down to my soul, but someone used AI to make a Zoolander version of William Riker, and it is fucking funny.
All right, let's look at that.
Yeah.
I do want to see, but I don't want to keep sucking you into it.
sure.
I can turn left. So that's right. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, the book is out now. Please go buy it. It has some fun extras in there. Has like character sketches and other things that I try not to give away because I want people to buy the book.
Good stuff.
It is good stuff. Thanks.
Really good back matter, guys.
Yeah. Unlike a certain person who tried to give away absolutely everything when they interviewed me. Oh, Cable, you'll know when I say.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I want to hear how that went.
Yeah,
later.
that'll be a later.
That's
Yeah, no.
off air.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Okay, I like that one. If you're here in 2020, your challenge coin is a tear gas filter. Yep.
That's perfect.
That is
Yep.
perfect, yes.
And he also wants to reiterate, he said pasties, not underpants.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, pasties, not panties.
Okay, that's
Still.
better.
Still.
That's a little better, though. I'll allow it.
Yes?
Mhm.
I don't know if I think that's gross.
What, pasties?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's
Pasties
fine.
are fine.
they're just tiny little covers.
Sometimes they're tiny.
Miniature bra. But
So-
like, do they get a lot of use? So is it like giving would it be like giving somebody a used bra?
They're not like bras
They're not like bras at all.
at all.
They're not. No, they're not like bras exactly. I just mean that they're for covering.
They're like nipple sombreros.
Okay. Here's the name of the episode.
You know, if I asked Sophie to develop that
Little sombrero.
and then develop a burlesque dance around, just making the sombreros twirl.
I don't want that.
But you'd watch it if it happened.
I mean,
She's talented.
I'm not made of stone.
Oh man.
Oh, don't send me that. That's not going to be any good. Someone's like, what do you think of the Patrick Stewart enjoying Jamie Oliver's enchiladas? First off, nothing Jamie Oliver makes is good.
All right, I get that they're reusable fire cow. I get, but I'm like, but do they get washed? Do you just use them until they're nasty and throw them away? What's the deal?
I feel like
that's
you'd
why
wash
I'm
them.
like,
They're probably hand wash only.
I mean, sometimes
depends
they're,
on what they're
totally
made of.
covered in beads and sequins and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Bees?
maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can hand wash the inside, but
I don't know why you
I'm
would.
Why would?
thinking
Well, because you sweat.
this is the part where I'm saying it's like a bra. You wear a bra and it's right up against your skin. You're supposed to wash the bra, and so a pasty, you probably get sweat and body dirt on it, so they probably need to be washed if you're reusing them.
Sure. But the part that's touching you is
Carpet tape.
Yeah.
He's just saying
It's
they're
just-
reusable. Just replace the carpet tape on the inside.
but
Is that like a double-sided tape?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then yeah, there's nothing gross at all.
So
about
like
that.
J-Lo boob tape.
Yeah.
Sure. I gotcha.
but plus
This
they're
is
not
weird.
like some of them might not be just fabric, like there might be a hard insert like cardboard or
But it doesn't matter because there's like the fashion tape
Yep.
essentially. That
Yeah.
is what
Fashion
in
tape.
contact with you. Okay. Super not gross.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's fine then.
Sorry, I guess I just wasn't like
No.
super clear on the
No.
mechanics of a pasty.
I don't know why we are.
Yeah.
I know if anyone should be more familiar than the rest of this table, it should be me.
Like I've never worn pasties.
That we know of.
No, you would know.
You would know. I feel like you would know. Yeah, I have.
My
But-
public life is out there. Like, yeah, no.
All right, are we ready to talk about Avatar?
Yeah, let's take a quick break. Oh shit. Let's take a quick break. Now. Hi, we're back.
It sounds like you're gonna have to explain to me what's happening over there.
I'm screen capping the stream so I know when to insert the commercial.
Cool. All right. Avatar.
Can we not say urban? Where would we need to say urban?
Urban. What?
Sorry, I'm looking at Kevin's.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's not for us.
Okay.
I think that's just chat box chat.
Never mind.
Okay, where were we?
We were in whatever planet that Avatar takes place on. Why does it not have a name?
I don't know.
I feel like, is there a week?
Is that any weirder than the fact that we gave all the other planets cool names, but we're just planet dirt?
I always did think that was weird. Because we're just what, Terra?
No, it's.
Terra?
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was just Earth.
Same as Earth. Earth is dirt.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
Yeah, that's what I
Same
mean.
thing.
Yeah.
I thought Terra was like one of those, like,
This is
for sci-fi purposes.
100% the reason why, if I'm on a starship and I'm the person that gets to meet aliens,
Mhm.
I'm saying, greetings, we're from the planet Gaia.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's another
Because
popular
it's-
sci-fi one.
It fits within the pantheon that we have named the other planets after.
That's
Gaia
true.
was a Titan. It is a proper name.
Yeah.
And it is, that way I'm not saying we are from planet Dirt. Hi, we are Dirtlings from the planet Dirt.
Dirtlings.
And the
Dirtlings.
rest of the planet will just have to get on board with being called Gaians.
That's fine. I like that.
I mean, all the hippies will be behind you.
Ugh.
Yeah,
that's
without
true.
hesitation.
Great.
Whatever.
So, it just means you've got some momentum.
No, I like
I
it.
wasn't saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
All right. Anyway, the land of planet avatars.
Planet.
Benderland.
Bender world.
Mm.
Yeah, there's not even a name for it in the wiki. It's
Maybe
just
that
the
was-
World of Avatar.
Maybe that was intentionally done though, so that you couldn't try to connect it with like an Earth culture, no matter how hard they try to make it like it's clearly influenced by certain cultures, but it is not of that culture,
Sure.
So
Yeah. So just give it any name that's not Earth/Terra, and you're fine.
Whizzleby Prime.
Bendyland.
Aang is here to save Whizzleby Prime.
Yep.
So we're in kind of an awkward spot because we fell off the Avatar train right before we finished season 2,
Yeah.
which is when like things really pick up for the series, like really.
Yeah, I feel like when I went to figure out where I was at, I feel like the last episode that I actually watched was The Earth King.
Me too.
Okay.
Okay.
So I rewatched that and then watched the last 2 episodes, The Guru and The Crossroads of Death.
Yeah.
And you're right, like shit happened.
Yeah, everything is happening now.
After a lot of nothing's happening in the city of Ba Sing Se because it's against the law for anything to happen in the city of Ba Sing Se.
That's right.
The
Well,
war does not exist.
And I remember that we talked about this, before, where like so we've got the episodes 15 Tales of Ba Sing Se, and then 16 is Appa's Lost Days. Those were almost Tales of Ba Sing Se is almost like a bottle episode, right? It only almost.
Mhm.
There are
Yeah,
elements
yeah.
of each character's story that sort of connects to the bigger plot of the season, but they're just sort of like chill episodes, and it's almost like the calm before the storm.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we noticed that as we were getting into the end of the season, but then we just didn't get to talk about it.
And I kind of forgot what we were talking about in terms of which episode, so I just rewatched the last episode
Okay, I'm sure that's fine.
where like shit gets real,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like hard.
Does anyone have a good recap of what happened in the Earth King, since that's where we last left off?
Other than, I don't have a good recap, but IMDb always does.
Yeah.
Again, IMDb, if you would like to sponsor a podcast. Hi! The kids battle Long Feng and the Dai Li when they attempt to show the Earth King the vast conspiracy taking place in his city. Zuko becomes seriously ill and has feverish dreams as he faces a spiritual crisis.
Okay, right.
Yeah, that was the blue dragon is speaking to him, and Uncle Iroh says, "Oh, you're having a great battle within you because that thing you did the other day is so out of character, and so now you're at a crossroads."
Yep. Yeah, this is actually the thing where he does the thing where he saves Appa and releases Appa, as opposed to holding Appa prisoner further to try and get Aang.
Leverage over Aang. Yeah.
Yep. So.
And this is also.
It's where the team is able to show proof to the Earth King that Long Feng has been lying to him the entire time, that there's a grand conspiracy. Like Long Feng gets bit by Appa, so he's got.
They have to work really hard to convince the Earth King that Long Feng is not to be trusted.
Which, if you live in peaceful times and have always lived in peaceful times,
or believe that.
Yeah.
He had no idea what was going on, but that doesn't mean it was a peaceful time.
Right. But like, it wasn't a peaceful time, but when Iroh had breached the walls of Ba Sing Se, that was a good 10, 15 years prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
And that still didn't make it all the way to the capital. It's like the walls of Ba Sing Se are still miles and miles away from the actual castle. And if you're not telling the king just believes everything's fine. That his people are fine, the city is prosperous, nothing's wrong with the Earth Kingdom, there's no fucking war going on outside the walls.
Yeah, and your personal advisor, or whatever his title was, totally a good guy. Why wouldn't I believe that?
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, they are able to get Long Feng arrested and prove to the Earth King that Fire Nation is coming because there's been a war.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of this episode, they set the stage for what happens in the finale.
Yeah, because at this point they separate because they like, hey, everything worked out. The Earth King, the Earth King believes us. We have messages from Sokka and Katara's dad. We have a message from Toph's mother, and the Avatar Aang is aware that there's a guru that can help him with this thing. So they all separate, which, as we all know, bad things happen when you separate the party.
Mm-hmm. And the last thing that happens is the Kyoshi warriors arrive at Ba Sing Se, but the gang doesn't get to interact with them before going all their separate ways.
Right.
So they have no idea that it's really Azula and her mean girls.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say this a lot, and I'm sorry. And I get why people really attach themselves to this character and really love how horrible this character is. Azula is a fucking psychopath.
She's a monster.
Yeah, I kind of love her for it, but yeah, she's terrifying.
Yeah, I get that a lot from people that are like, oh yeah, she's a lover. It's like, okay, she's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah. Sorry, something else.
So chapter 19 is it's called The Guru, but it is not a solo episode for Aang. Aang's kind of journey is like the wrapper around everything else that's happening simultaneously. They start the episode off with Zuko and Uncle Iroh together, and he is a completely different person now. Zuko. He seems like a normal ass human boy.
Mm-hmm.
Even the way he speaks is different. He doesn't have that like snarling, angry, no matter what he's saying voice. He's just talking like a regular kid. He's like, things are looking up.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
first time, he seems very calm.
Happy.
Sokka reunites with his father for the first time in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part about their little section of the episode is that Sokka finally realizes that, like, he always felt like he had been left behind with the children
Mm-hmm.
when his father and all the other men went off to fight. And now he realizes, no, I wasn't being left behind like a child. I was tasked with staying here to protect the tribe because all the other men are gone.
Right.
And that, I think that's probably a really big deal for him, because he's been like grappling with that for, again, 2 years.
Yep. Which is, I mean, that's a popular. Oh, I don't want to say trope. I hate saying trope.
I mean,
But-
tropes are a thing.
Yes, but that is tropes get used as shorthand though for like, oh, the writer couldn't think of anything interesting, so it's just this trope. We've seen it before. It's like that's because
That's
of
not
the
what tropes are, but yeah.
storytelling. Yeah.
It's again people not knowing how things work.
Yep.
It's just like how, yeah,
We have an entire society who doesn't understand how sausage is made.
yeah, and everything. If they don't like them, it's because they're a Mary Sue, not knowing what that term actually means. Yeah.
So Aang goes to see Guru Patik, who says he is a spiritual brother to the Air Tribe and was a personal friend of Monk Gyatso, which I didn't have a chance to look it up, but I'm assuming was the one that was working with Aang closely.
Yes.
And when they were going to be separated is why Aang ended up running away.
Yep.
He tells Aang that he needs to achieve inner balance in order to master the Avatar state, and that he has to open all 7 of the chakras. Also, once he begins this process, he cannot stop until all 7 have been opened, which is pretty important. So there's, I wrote a bunch of notes on each of these, but essentially they are earth, water, fire. One that didn't get named, I'm assuming it's air, light, sound, and thought.
Yeah, they did name air.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Okay, I like kept rewinding it and I kept not finding the spot where it was. But so earth is about survival and it is blocked by fear. Water is connected to pleasure, blocked by guilt, and so on and so forth. And with each one of these chakras, they go one at a time, and Aang has to meditate on different experiences that he's had in his life, and and he has these visions of all of these different things that block it, like guilt about running away from the Air Tribe and when he has hurt others, shame from when he was literally playing with fire and hurt people he cared about, and like what a dangerous and like foolhardy thing that was.
I liked how that was while he opened that chakra of all of them, he's like, well, that was more like cracking the door, but it'll suffice. It'll do for now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't want to do that.
It is in and of itself, this whole thing, sort of a montage. They're going through it very quickly, and
Yeah, because this entire journey, it's like, dude, that's like a week to a month long of meditation and solitude.
yeah.
Like it is not that fast.
No, but they don't really have time for
No.
much more. There are some like really good, parts that come through. So again, air is about love, and it's blocked by grief. And the guru tells him that love is a form of energy, and it's all around you, and that essentially when the air nomads went away, their love didn't leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's still in the world. It's still in your heart. And it basically reincarnates into the next people that you love and care about.
Yep.
And obviously for Aang, that's guitar. at least primarily Katara. I know, like we know he loves all of his friends, but he,
Yes.
you know, he has like very strong feelings for her.
Yeah,
He has romantic love for
Yes.
Katara.
relatively new.
Yes.
As in also like, you know, few things hit harder than the very first crush. That's the one you always remember, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's gonna that will leave an impact for sure.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Another one that was interesting is the light chakra is connected to light and is blocked by illusion. And he specifies that we are all one people, but we live as if divided, by which he means the tribes. But that is that's very obviously like a dig at us, like at the people watching, right? Like, don't think that just because you know you live here and they live there, or you look like this and they look like that, like just because you guys act like you're different, no, you're not. No, you're fucking not. It wasn't particularly subtle, but neither was it like low hanging fruit or lazy. It was in the context of everything that's going on. It was well done in my opinion. And then the last one, this is where I thought it got a little weird. The last chakra is thought, and it is connected to pure cosmic energy. So like 7 is like the boss level chakra. All the rest of them are like individual things.
Yeah.
But the last one is like 42, everything. Life itself.
Means everything.
Yep.
And it is blocked by earthly attachments, which is a little bit weird because, you know, just, and Aang says the same thing. He's like, 3 chakras ago, it was important that I love somebody, and now you're telling me I have to let them go? And this is where he hits a wall. He can't really like wrap his head around like what it means to let go and how important it is for him to be able to do this in order to achieve his goal. And I don't know if he's right or wrong in his reaction or in his choice.
I don't think it's a matter of right or wrong. I think it's a matter of what he is ready for.
Very good point.
Yeah.
And I think you stated it, and it comes across in the play itself that he doesn't understand the difference between having earthly attachments and being able to let them go in order to achieve a higher state of being. That's part and parcel of a lot of philosophy and a lot of meditative theories where it's not a matter of like, oh, I'm just going to ignore all of my earthly attachments. It's you have to, yes, love everything and love as many people around you as you want to, with the understanding that this is impermanent. That like there is the state of being is just a state of being. It is not the whole state of being. And if you want to connect at a higher level, understanding that is part and parcel of that. And you're right. That's a very heady for a kids show.
And also the character is a lot to put on. And what is the 11?
Yeah, 11 or 12 is kind of where I saw them.
But I guess he has to be old enough to, you know, have romantic love. What age are you capable of romantic love?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, and it's not the same for everyone.
No.
I know by 11 I was already developing crushes.
That's a good point.
You know, and by 12 hoping I could like get that awkward kiss, but like not going for it. Kind of thing.
That's a different thing.
Well, I mean, that's about the age where, like, you know, people stop having cooties.
I started at age 5, dude, so I don't know.
Oh, well, Cable the Player.
I remember having, you know, schoolyard flings in like 1st grade.
My first girlfriend was in first grade.
But that's just being like, she's my girlfriend.
Well, sure, but the even if like the full understanding of like what girlfriend means to adults, the desire for that dynamic is there.
No, I had full-on makeouts.
In the 5th grade?
First.
First?
So when you were 6.
Yes.
Man, Eastern Oregon is
So,
not like everywhere else.
You had a cable to play her.
And she was a year older.
Oh man, you sly devil. No wonder you're not wearing a bustle. Most of my friends were girls. I mean, but that hasn't really changed either. So
at any rate, this is where Aang hits a wall. He's not ready or willing to do this thing. And even though the guru tells him, like, look, if you leave now, you cannot pick this back up again. Like, you are closing a door forever.
Which is how that's not actually what he says, but it is how Aang interprets it. It's like, I can never do this. It's like, no, he said, essentially he was telling him, it's like, if you want to hit this state, when you do this, you're going to have to go back through the other 6 again to get back here.
Because he locked them back up.
Right.
Because I do know he said that. He's like, because you stopped, now they're locked.
It's an all or nothing ritual.
The way he said it, and I wrote it down though, is if you leave now, you will not be able to go into the avatar state at all.
Did he? I didn't remember him saying at all.
That's what I wrote. I did paraphrase, but I did include at all, which would be if he said it. So, I mean, obviously that's not going to be what happens, right? He's going to save the world eventually. But at this point, he gives this up and he bolts and starts heading back to Ba Sing Se. He scoops up Sokka on the way. Toph has had this whole sort of side quest where turns out her mom had never written and asked to meet with her at all.
No, so it's 2 bumblefucks.
So she's like idiot-ass highwaymen, right?
Yeah, it's her former teacher and the former underground fighting champ.
I knew we knew them, but I couldn't remember where or why, what their deal was.
Yeah, they've been following her since season 1.
And then where were they trying to take her?
Back home.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Her parents hired them, right? To get her ass back home.
Yeah.
Like parents do. And I thought it was really funny that they thought they were being super clever by boxing her up in metal, thinking she'll never get through this. But it turns out fucking Toph is like the best earthbender in the world.
So there is precedent for this. Every time, like, we see this when they take Long Feng into custody. We see this later on when the Dai Li betrayal occurs. Metal is commonly used. Like, we saw this when we first met Earthbenders. They were on kept in a metal ship. Earthbenders believe that they have no control over metal.
Oh, okay.
So none of them try. They can't bend metal, and they feel that separates them from the earth and being able to do that. However, Toph knows the truth.
During one of the scenes where Aang is working through these chakras, I can't believe I didn't write it down, but he says even metal is still a form of purified earth. It is still earth. And I'm like, yeah, technically.
Yeah.
No, that's legit science. So I guess you just have to be powerful enough to do it.
I'm more on board with earthbenders being able to bend metal than I am with firebenders throwing lightning.
Yes.
Yeah, that one is weird.
Yeah.
That seems like an airbender thing.
It should be an airbender thing because it's.
Yeah, I mean, I know it requires like temperatures and moisture to pull it all off, but it never requires fire.
Oh, see, then maybe it should be like an avatar thing.
It should solely be an avatar thing.
Yeah, and become like
should not be a firebender thing.
Make something that all avatar they're like dual lands.
Yeah, But like then we start getting into that. Well, who gets to control lava? Is that firebenders or earthbenders?
That's Earth. I would say it's Earth.
Except it's both.
If
It's
metal
molten.
if metal is earth, then lava is also earth.
It is, but it is also fire.
I mean, this will eventually lead to one of my favorite parts in the season finale.
Okay.
With some extra earthbending shit going on.
Yes.
Yeah. Overall, I think I'm starting to get to that point where I'm like, wait, why are these the 4 elements and not the 5 elements?
I feel like we talked about this, but now I can't remember what we said.
It's wood, air, metal, water, fire, and wood.
Wood.
Those are when you talk about the astrological signs from the Chinese zodiac. They're also paired with those 5 elements.
Yeah. Isn't that
so
6
if you have
then?
Planet of the Asian people, then you also have.
Yes, and that.
Why are you using?
More sense.
Yeah.
But it was still written by and for Westerners, so Earth, Air, Fire, and Water. So now Toph makes her escape from these dudes. She locks them up in the metal box, which is fantastic.
I loved that.
And now all 3 of them, Sokka, Aang, and Toph, kind of converge on the road, quote unquote. Neither of them are really on a road. Back to the city to go find Katara, because Aang's like, she's in danger.
Toph is on the road. Toph is surfing the road.
Yes.
Like she's taking those giant steps because she's just using the ground as her own feet. So she's.
It's like if you could surf on land, but also with your bare feet and walking. It's quite magical.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And then later we see some more element travel, I guess. It's got to be a more fun name for that. So that's where we leave off with them. Back with the other guys' camp, Long Feng. Let me back up. Azula orchestrates her friends essentially accidentally on purpose outing themselves as fake Kyoshi warriors to the Dai Li, so that word gets back to Long Feng, and then Long Feng sets up a way for them to meet, and they form an allyship. And
with the intent of betraying one another.
Of course.
Like, we get that. Yeah.
Zuko and Iroh get invited to serve tea for the Earth King. But we all know that things are very, very compromised at the palace. And that's where chapter 19 ends.
Yep.
And then it jumps straight into chapter 20. In fact, on Netflix, this is all categorized as one episode 18. Because they did a double.
Right. Season. Yeah.
And then it's basically right where we left off. The kids are reuniting, looking for Katara. Iroh and Zuko show up at the palace, and Azula comes to them first to capture them. Is where we see one of my favorite scenes. Is Iroh asks Azula, have you ever heard why they used to call me the Dragon of the West? And she's like, I'm really not in the mood for one of your long, boring stories, dude. And he's like, no, it's more of a demonstration.
Yep.
And then he literally breathes fire to wipe out all of these soldiers around them, and he makes his escape, but Zuko stays behind. He's gonna fight his sister, but she plays dirty, and it's over in an instant.
Really, she plays dirty?
What?
I didn't see that coming.
I feel like half the time she doesn't even need to because she's crazy strong. She can just do what she wants.
Sure, but it would be beneath her then.
That's true, I guess so.
She does mostly let the Earthbenders take him down.
Right.
Mostly.
I want to point out that when it is a fair fight, she resorts to underhanded moves because she cannot win in a fair fight.
Yeah.
She's done that multiple times.
Right. I guess that's true.
Like, she honestly cannot beat Aang unless she cheats. Which comes up.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. So anyway, Azula is working to overthrow the government.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the gang is looking for Katara. Katara has been thrown like down a mine shaft or some shit.
Yep.
Eventually, Zuko is down there with her. They quarrel. She kind of hates him at this point, and why wouldn't she?
Yep. She has not seen any of his growth.
No.
She is only going off of every time that he's tried to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of moving parts throughout this episode, such that we get some other interesting character combinations besides Katara and Zuko. There's also a time where Aang and Uncle Iroh are alone, and he's like, okay, so Toph says that you give very good advice, and asks about. He's like, okay, so I was supposed to do this thing, but they said I'd have to stop caring about this person. He's kind of vague about it, but he gives him the highlights, and Iroh says, I think it's very wise of you to choose happiness and love. And he says, in terms of like how to make the right choice, he says that sometimes life is like this dark tunnel. You can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you just keep moving, you will come to a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Which is such, like classic grandpa wisdom. But it's probably exactly what Aang needed to hear right now. So that's very driving.
And it was a good scene between the two of them because they clearly are on two sides of a conflict that exists, and neither one of them have any time for it when they want to just be.
Right.
Like, they recognize, like, Iroh 100% goes, no, this is the Avatar. The Avatar, above all else, still deserves the respect of the people. And if he is coming to me for counsel, I'm going to give him honest counsel.
Mm-hmm.
And Aang recognizes Iroh as like, no, you're an honorable person. War is war, but you are still this guy.
Mm-hmm.
It also occurs to me that neither of them really started out with stakes in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Aang did not want to be a part of this at all, from even back 100 years, and Iroh maybe was genuinely invested in the Fire Nation winning this a couple of years ago, but ever since his son died, he's changed a lot, and at this point in his life, I don't think I wouldn't even say I don't think he cares about the Fire Nation winning the war. I think he would rather they didn't.
He 100% knows that the worst thing that can happen to the world is his brother taking over everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows it. You're right, and it has been, I think, the entirety of Zuko's life, because he breached the walls of Ba Sing Se the same day that his son died in battle elsewhere. That's why he pulled back.
That's right.
Like, he breached the walls and then got word that his son died, and he said,
I'm out.
And that's when he was like, you're the worst general ever. You're fired. It's like, cool. I don't have it in me. I'm not fighting any more fucking wars.
This is also, I mentioned it earlier, but I was in the wrong place. This is the moment where Iroh tells Zuko, you are a different dude than you were before. You are more free. You're stronger, wiser than you've ever been before.
Mm-hmm.
And right now you are at a crossroads in your destiny, which is the title of the episode, by the way. Mm-hmm. And it is time for him to choose. And I kind of expect you to choose to do the right thing, nephew. But Azula is there and is like as always, goading him to continue to be a bad guy.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Azula is the younger sister, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, she is.
Yeah.
And then we go back to all these moving parts. There's a big Bender fight between the Mean Girls and Katara and Aang. I think Toph jumps in there somewhere. Zuko shows up, and for a moment, it looks like he's going to be on Team Avatar's side.
Mm-hmm.
only for a moment, and then he just goes back to being classic Zuko.
And I was telling this to Aaron when we first got here. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I actually did not project. It happened, and I don't know that that's what I expected to happen or not.
I kind of did, even knowing that there's probably going to be a redemption for him.
See, and I thought this was where it was starting. The way everything in season 2, it's like, oh no, he still apparently has not hit rock bottom yet.
Right.
Correct.
Well, especially when you've got someone there literally goading you into doing the things that you're struggling to move away from in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She knows all the buttons to push to keep him right where she wants him, which is to be a shitty person because it benefits her.
Mm-hmm.
And it works. Eventually, well, no, we'll get back to that. But Uncle Iroh is definitely disappointed.
Yep.
So great big fight. Eventually, the kids are outnumbered because again, there's all the Dai Li as well.
Mm-hmm.
Once Longfeng and Azula have it out with their backstabbing, she comes out on top, and so now all the Dai Li defer to her. And Aang realizes that they're all outnumbered, and that is the moment where he's like, "I'm sorry, Katara," and he presumably is gonna try and let go.
Mm-hmm.
Although ostensibly he's doing it to save her because they're outnumbered. But he kind of boxes himself into some crystal and is attempting to go into the Avatar state. And it looks like it's working when all of a sudden Azula like blasts him with lightning. It's a big hit too. And then he starts falling out of the sky unconscious.
It needs to be pointed out. She doesn't just blast him. She shoots him in the fucking back.
Yes.
This is why I'm like, Azula cannot win a fair fight. At all.
Right. Which means there's no incentive for her to ever fight fair.
Correct.
So
she cannot win a fair fight against the Avatar.
Yeah.
It's
that like the first line in Pirates of the Caribbean when what's his name Legolas is like, in a fair fight you wouldn't have beat me, and Jack's like, what's the point of fighting fair then?
Yep.
Legolas. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Like, if you know you can't win and you're a shitty person, of course you're gonna cheat.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why she's one of the bad guys.
Sure.
I would argue that she is actually even more so than Fire Lord Ozai, who is a big bad and a threat. Azula is the actual villain of this.
The Fire Lord is more of a MacGuffin, really.
Yeah.
He has very little to do in this series. Like, even from behind the scenes, not a lot of action or like cause and effect comes from him directly. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking earlier about how Toph is like riding the ground, surfing across the land to get to where she's going. In this moment where Aang is falling out of the sky, and it looks like he's just going to like land on the ground from a very high distance, unconscious, which is pretty bad. She like creates water around herself and like just like shoots herself over to where he is, and then she does it vertically to like elevate themselves up and out of the area, while Iroh kind of like does a last defense, save yourselves, I'll hold them off. And of course, he also is outnumbered, so they do eventually capture him, and that's when you see Zuko is like off to the side behind Azula, and Uncle Iroh looks at him and is very obviously let down.
Yeah.
So luckily, Katara didn't end up using that magic water on Zuko earlier, a couple scenes back, because now she has it to help Aang, and she kills him enough for him to regain consciousness. Like, they are down and out. So they're bad places. Now Azula says that Zuko is going to be welcomed home as a war hero.
Yep.
Kind of what he's been wanting for a while.
And the final line is that very strong feelings on that one. So they make it very momentous.
we did get to see crystal bending, which I kind of loved.
Trying to like picture it when who bends crystals.
I
I know that,
I have my notes over here, so I'm like, ah.
I know that there's that time right before Aang goes into Avatar state, he makes himself like a crystal tent to sort of like
He also
shield
makes
himself.
himself crystal armor for a bit too.
Yeah, and that's what I like call it, crystal bending.
Okay, yeah. And presumably crystal bending is like an advanced form of earth bending, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Super advanced.
And
yeah.
presumably, so like not everyone can do it.
Earth bending, crystal bending, metal bending. Yeah, this does cement Toph as the earthbender.
Yes.
Yes. Looking at my notes.
We've always known she's amazing because she's been, competing as a child against adults.
Yep.
There's kind of really, I can't think of a time where she couldn't earthbend her way out of a situation.
Sand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I think like the big step this is the first episode where like Aang doesn't actively run from his problems.
Mm-hmm.
He goes head on. He's like, okay, I have to face this. I am what they said I am. I've got to do this.
Which gets back into closing the loop on that lesson that they were trying to teach with the guru, to not just to Aang, but to the viewer, of like, this is what letting go of attachments actually means. It means being prepared to not get mired down into, it's like, I'm just going to be, I'm going to be in a prison of my own emotions about the horrible things that are happening and go, these are horrible things. And they're going to continue to happen unless I step away and become what I need to do in order to surpass it. So it's the difference between being ruled by your emotions and being able to be influenced by, but not ruled by your emotions.
The second to last chakra is sound, which represents truth and is blocked by lies. And that is the one where the guru tells him, you cannot lie about your own nature. You have to accept that you are the avatar. So even though the guru said like, oh, by stopping, you have like relocked all of these, all 7 of these doors, the lesson is still there, right? Like intellectually, he still did that work.
Yep.
Even if the chakras are closed again. And so he has come to accept that like he has a destiny, essentially. Yep. He has I lost words. This is what he has to do. It's what he is for.
Right.
And so yeah, when push came to shove, he was ready to try and do things the way he knows they need to be done. It didn't end up working out this time.
I think that's the difference between the two, is he was unlocking the chakras before, and now they are still unlocked. He just has to, those doors just open and close when he needs them to. Because now you can just go, well, all these are unlocked, I can just open the doors. The one that I hadn't unlocked yet was this top one. And so it was a fast, I've just opened all 6 of the other doors, now I can unlock the 7th one and then open it. Yeah, when he hits that point, that's going to, like, it was a nice little preview of like, well, at least we get to see what that's going to look like in season 3, potentially.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying. Because all of the times that he's accidentally entered the avatar state, he is wrecked shit.
Yeah, he needs some control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he goes from, yeah, I'm a kid with superpowers to, I didn't know we were fighting Godzilla.
Right.
Like blind wrath.
We can do pretty much anything. We're all benders. That's motherfucking Godzilla. He's bigger than the city. We're not gonna win.
So this is very much the like the Return of the Jedi ending, where all the good guys are
Empire
Strikes Back.
Empire. Oh,
sorry.
I mean, like
they're all a little bit the same.
Down to the fact that Luke left Yoda.
I don't care.
On Dagobah when he sensed his friends were in trouble and ran away.
Yeah.
He had almost unlocked that seventh Jedi secret.
There is another. Yeah.
I know. Just
yeah, that's Cora.
Just for
I know. Yeah.
That what's his face? You know, the showrunner, who then goes on to do.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
He wasn't the showrunner on this. He was just a writer.
Yes, you're right. Thank you.
What I missed there?
Oh,
what's his face? Who did Clone Wars?
Dave Filoni.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He's probably gone by the end of the.
He is.
He's now off in
season 1.
Yeah.
Oh, only season 1.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, never mind.
And
by now he's Clone
like
Wars now.
Star Wars?
Would you like to play in a Star Wars?
Like, I would like a Star Wars. What Star Wars do I get?
Here, go watch the Star
Wars. Star Wars are like his Pringles.
It's a never-ending can of Pringles with him.
That's right. You'd never have to shove your arm in the bottom of that tube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I accidentally just left Netflix on, so after I watch these, I'm like I'm apparently 5 episodes into season 3.
Ooh.
It does not get any less fucked up.
Well, again, much like in the Clone Wars, you kind of turn a corner at a certain point, and it stops feeling like a baby show for babies. It's some real shit that gets heavy and is serious, and there are consequences.
Yep. There is a mid-season 2-parter, and then there's the last 4 episodes are all one big thing. So the way we should watch this is definitely, we watch it at your own pace and we can figure out how many we want to do at a time. But I will say there's the episode 17, the Ember Island Players. That is the last episode before we enter the 4-part finale. And
okay.
It is also the most comedic. It is the one episode that I keep seeing on Netflix when we put this on in the store. And I'm like, is this what I think it is? And they're like, oh, yeah. Like everyone who's watched that, they're like, yeah, that's what's going on. I'm like, are you kidding me? They're doing this? Yeah. Like, I can't wait to get to this episode. It is the funniest fucking thing.
Oh, now I'm super jazzed.
Yeah. It looks hilarious.
What is it called?
The Ember Island Players. It's comedy gold. And they do that because that is the last funny thing that happens, because the last episodes are Sozin's Comet parts 1 through 4. Jeez. It's like, oh, okay.
Prepare yourself. Wow. Cool.
Yeah, the 2 parts, mid-season 2-parter is Day of the Black Sun. That's episodes 10 and 11.
Nice. Let's see.
I will say, in very shortly, we get to learn a lot more about Zuko, Azula, and the Mean Girls. It definitely gives you a lot more, like, oh, this makes more sense about this character, and this makes more sense about this character, and this makes a lot more sense about this character. And Azula is a fucking monster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta love a good villain, though.
Do we learn why she's such a fucking psychopath?
I think it's because she got dropped on her head as a child or something. like if she were in this world, we would have found, like, oh, here's the issue. Her body lacks this body chemistry or this or that. Like, she's a psychopath. She's a sociopathic psychopath. She's not a very good sociopath, actually. She's just a psychopath.
Yeah.
Because sociopaths figure out how to play along with everybody. she is not a sociopath.
Right.
She has no understanding of how normal people act. None. She scares everyone. Like the Dai Li. The Dai Li are like, yeah, we're faithful to you, Longfeng, but she scares us.
Also, the way she like absolutely berates him and makes him seem like the world's smallest man. So
He
we
is.
we didn't. Well, that's fair. We didn't really talk about it much, but there is the scene where Longfeng goes to do his back and nothing happens. He's like, run. And she's like, they're not really sure what to do because they see that you are nothing.
Yep.
So
It's like
they're not
they
super
wanna-
sure about me yet. Also, I'm very scary. So.
They want to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Like they want to see who's going to come out on top, and that's who they're going to follow.
Just brutal.
They're pretty sure it's me.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I get what Erin is saying. Like she's got a lot of flair.
She's fun villain to watch.
She's a spicy villain.
Yeah, she is a
Yeah.
fantastic villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's
But also, she's a monster.
she is. Like if part of your character's backstory is, yeah, mom always thought that there was something wrong with me too. It's like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to the degree that it's like there has been enough inference and not inference. We infer.
Implication?
There's
Implying?
there's very subtle implications that Azula is the one who killed their mother.
I don't think it was that subtle.
No, I don't think it was either. I figured that was just a known thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except maybe to Zuko. I don't think Zuko knows.
No, I don't think so either.
I think Zuko's like, it was an accident. Mom died. Yep, accident. Accidents happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's me. I'm accidents.
Mom tripped upstairs into fire. Whoops a daisy.
In her sleep.
Yeah.
Fell out of her bed into the fire.
That
Have they
happens.
talked about what it is that separates benders from the rest of them? Like, why are some people able to bend elements and others are not?
Midichlorians.
Sesapine.
Okay. Because, like, clearly both Ozai and Iroh are firebenders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Zuko's and Azula's mother was a firebender.
We don't know that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna assume not.
And they never show that, but the kids are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think Iroh's kids.
But then Katara is a waterbender and Sokka is not.
Sokka is
and
not.
it does not appear that their father is either.
Mm-mm.
But I think we know that their mother was.
Yes.
I feel like that's something they talked about before.
Yes.
Yeah, it must just be one of those traits that's, like hit or miss.
Yep.
I think that's a good place.
Yeah. I think I also want to throw on there, if Avatar is your jam, if you've enjoyed listening to old people talk about a children's show that came out in 2005, or if you just wanted to immerse yourself in this world, you're in luck.
Good news.
Because tomorrow, the 25th of January, Avatar Legends, the role-playing game, drops. It was one of the highest funded role-playing games on Kickstarter. I think it made $1 million inside of like 3 days. Like it funded in like 15 minutes.
They kickstarted it. Who owns this game?
I forget.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Did they have to pay Nickelodeon to do this? I was like curious as to the logistics now.
So here's the thing about Kickstarter. Major corporations that already have funds kickstart all of their games because that way they've paid for it by using pre-sales.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think who does it a lot.
Cool Mini or Not. I like Cool Mini or Not's games. They're very miniature heavy.
Yeah.
But they're board games. they kickstart every game that they put out, and it's not because they need the money. It is easier for them to figure out what the market is for that game.
Right. The games is basically pre-sales.
Yep.
Yeah.
They know it's going to sell, and they just want to know how much.
Dwarven Forge used to do that for all of their
of
their terrains. They don't do it anymore, but they used to do that for all of their terrains. I think Green Ronin used to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Top Cow does that for their comics.
I don't love it.
I have very mixed feelings on it.
Yeah, it's a whole conversation, and maybe that one that we should have on another night. But regardless, I am excited, and I think we should play this game.
Magpie Games.
Magpie, thanks. Magpie's the publisher.
There was a weird also like controversy around that Kickstarter about one of the game designers or something, but I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
I don't know it all very much because I just don't.
I don't know when Guardian's getting ours.
Right.
Like we have it on order, but since it comes out tomorrow, I would have assumed we would have got it today. And shipping is what shipping is these days.
Right.
But anyway, that's coming out. It takes place not just in Aang's time, but like it's the time. The major time periods for the game are Avatar Kyoshi, Avatar Aang, and Avatar Korra.
Huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, then, because I don't want to play it yet because I haven't seen Legend of Korra.
I haven't either. But it like you're not playing Korra. It's just in that time frame.
Right.
Oh, do you choose one before you start?
Yeah.
Like the Trek game, you choose what era of Trek you want to play in.
Gotcha.
Here's the other exciting thing about this, and this is why I keep saying this part. It is a powered by the apocalypse system.
Ah, there it is.
And this is going to, in the year that Dungeons and Dragons has decided to shit the bed.
You're putting all your chips on.
Good job, Hasbro.
Powered by the Apocalypse is poised to have more eyes on it than it's ever had before. And if this is someone's introduction to role-playing games because they love Avatar, I think this is going to be that thing that kicks Powered by the Apocalypse from, oh, it's this great multi-use indie RPG system to, oh yeah, Powered by the Apocalypse, fucking great.
Also, it's got a great name.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is Cable's predictions. You choose to, I don't know. Oh, no. If you want to buy shares now, sounds like now's the time. Good idea.
Buy shares, yes.
They're probably not public. Also, don't take financial advice from podcasters.
It's also an open gaming license system.
You hear me, listeners?
Like,
do not take financial advice from podcasters.
Any podcasters?
Probably.
Maybe the
Planet Money,
the Motley Fools, maybe.
Right, but those are like actual economists.
Yeah.
They're economists who happen to do podcasts.
Oh God, I used to know someone who worked at the Motley Fool.
They were a big deal in the late 90s.
Yeah, they were. I think he still might. I don't know.
I confirmed it because I know I texted you guys last week about this, but I did confirm next week we're going to have Lee on the show.
Fantastic.
She was on here for She Brew.
Mm-hmm.
She has the barrel-aged honey. We all have an announcement that is going to be made next Tuesday when she's on. It's pretty cool. Sweet. I see what you did there. Unintended, but well done. Yeah. And then, yes, again, Season of the Bruja, Homicidal Carco. Thank you.
Yes, Season of the Bruja, Volume 1, out now.
I'm just saying Volume 1 to manifest other volumes. That's just what I call it now.
That's what I'm saying, too.
Yep.
Right behind you. Buy it.
Yeah, buy it all. Thank you.
And don't forget to go to Books with Pictures this Saturday.
Saturday, the 28th from 3 to 5. I will be signing copies at Books with Pictures.
We'll see you there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be there.
Yay!
I'm not doing that again.
With that, I'm Aaron Duran.
I'm Peter Rita.
And I'm Cable Ashitani.
And we will talk to everybody next week. Bye-bye.